started in Lorraine. It's called SCARED, S-C-A-R-E-D. Stands for Stopping Child Abuse Requires Educational Development. And boy, isn't that true. They have a broad agenda. They're seeking a legislative change to make it easier for victims of child abuse to prosecute, even if they wait until adulthood when statutes of limitation may have lapsed. And the organization also wants changes made in the way children's services in the court system handle children who report abuse. And interestingly, she says the founder says now they're taken out of the home. You're punishing the victim. She said being placed in a foster home or detention center is a terrifying experience for a child. What about the issue of statute of limitations? How long out there should the adult be held responsible for I would assume, and forgive me if you disagree with this, with the ever-decreasing memory of the victim? As you get older, of course, your memory is not as clear as it used to be, and those things do recede into time. So should a statute of limitations be put on it? And what should that number be? I believe at this point it's 7 years. 578-1100, 1-800-477-WWWE. Got a couple more minutes on this. We're leaving it to you today to talk about this from your personal experiences, to give those individuals who have never had this experience some understanding of it, whether it was false accusations or real happenings. And in later programs on this issue, because it deserves to have an expert's opinion put into it so that you can argue or agree with this individual, we'll be doing that. Mike, thanks for calling 3WE.
Hi, Lee. How you doing?
Pretty good.
My wife was abused as a child, and, which actually, she's only 23, so it hasn't been that long ago, but we're talking 15 years ago, so maybe it has been a long time. But at any rate, the effect on the child is amazing. My wife has been in and out of hospitals for the last 4 years, and she's had diet problems. She's had attempted suicide. Her father doesn't even admit that that it happened, and it's a horrible problem. And your last caller, I think she's totally denying the fact that she needs help.
You think so?
I think she's ignoring her problem.
You think Cher is just trying to cover it up with, I'm a macho kind of woman and I can get through this?
Right.
How did your wife discover what had happened?
Well, actually, I had to end up putting her in a hospital. I probated her because there's so many problems. She couldn't even live day to day without thinking like committing suicide. And eventually, a doctor diagnosed her with being abused as a child.
So she had severe emotional problems.
Right.
You took her in for a diagnosis, and it was incest. That was the diagnosis.
Yeah,
Child abuse.
She was physically abused, sexually abused, mentally.
Does she have any memory of this?
Yeah, she has a lot of memory, a lot of flashbacks.
Did it take some coaxing or some intensive therapy from the therapist to get those memories?
Yeah, at first she didn't even want to talk about it, and then she got to the point where she confronted her father, and he totally denied it, which I'm sure made it worse for her.
Yeah, did he deny it in strong language, or did he sort of sulk out of the room?
He said, how could, she called him on the phone, he said, how could you say this about me, and this and that, and just, and it was left at that. Now, they still talk, and, it's like she never even asked him about it. As far as statute of limitations go, I think it should be 30, 40 years, because, first of all, he has it blocked out of his mind that it ever happened. And as far as her, first of all, I asked her, I said, where would you be today if you didn't meet someone like me? And she said, I wouldn't be around today.
Do you have any children, Mike?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Does she have any children?
Yeah, I'm sorry, between the two of us, 2 children.
Yeah, 2 children. Last night in the television show, Not in My Family, the triggering episode was a pregnancy. Did that play at all any fact into your...
No, I don't think so, because she had been pregnant before she met me and had an abortion, but...
I see. What about her mom?
Her mom... Her mom was an alcoholic when she was growing up. I don't think she ever abused her.
Did she know what was going on?
I think she did, but she denies it. She says that she never knew what was going on, but I'm sorry. I know her brothers know what was happening. You just can't live in a house and not know. You just can't.
And there's no way in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, there's no way that you think these are false allegations.
No.
You know for a fact. And
at first, I was hesitant in believing because I met her dad, and he just doesn't seem like that type of person. But, who is that type of person?
Mike, thanks for the call.
No problem. Thank
you. So another case heard from. 578-1100, 1-800-477. We have time for one more call. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for calling all the way from Solon this morning. Good talking to you.
Yes, I wanted to say that a lot of the reasons for the repression is that the abuser causes the victim to feel some guilt.
And that does what? That forces even a tighter lid on the memory,
the victim, yes, to feel guilty and therefore lock it out.
Are you troubled at all with individuals who are memory experts and also psychologists who say there is no scientific basis for this repression? They call it a decade-delayed disclosure, that this is not scientifically documented.
I'm not really sure about that. I think there may be some legitimacy to that, but I know in our case it's not always fathers that abuse.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a daughter, and it was her brother, and fortunately he did not have his way with her, but he called her a slut.
Mm-hmm. And did she make an allegation against him?
Years later, she had blocked it out. She was not really having many problems at all. But one night we were watching L.A. Law, and she began to cry.
And why?
Because it was about abuse. The program was.
Yeah. And she remembered things?
Yes.
About her brother?
Well, she had remembered before, but that was the first that she talked with us about it. But she had been going out the door. One day, she's college age now, and she had been going out the door, and she suddenly had a memory of running out that door to get away from him.
What's happened since then?
We sent her to therapy. We were told to keep out of it, that these are both our children, and that we love them both. She has confronted her brother, and they have talked about it.
You were told to keep out of it by who?
By the therapist.
Yeah. Do you think that was smart?
Well, if we had been aware at the time, they were only 12 and 14. He was 14 and she was 12.
Yeah.
Then it would have been our business. But now that so much time has elapsed, they're adults now, and they have to cope with this as adults.
And you didn't know any of this was going on?
No. I feel bad. I feel he betrayed our trust. If I had any idea anything like this would happen, they would not have been alone at home after school. I was only for a short time, but...
Do you think she's going to turn out all right?
Yes. Oh, yes. She's all right as it is. I think she needs... the therapy is just clearing up some odds and ends. But she really has done very well even before she went to therapy.
Mary, thanks for the story, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you.
11:27, and we're going to leave it at that point for this discussion. You've heard very, very revealing stories this morning, and obviously heartfelt stories, both of false accusation and of verification that it really did happen, from ages 5 all the way through to adulthood. Back in a moment on 3WWE. Let's wrap it up, at least in response to the confrontations you've heard a lot about, people confronting the individuals who are the abusers. Whether true or not, these issues do come up face-to-face, person-to-person. Not in My Family last night on ABC, in a sense concluded with this final confrontation between the daughter and the father.
Don't you know what you did to us?
I don't understand you, Veronica. And I want you to stop this.
I can't.
Well, then you can consider me your father no longer.
You stopped being my father the first time you forced me to have sex with you.
Veronica! You disappoint me deeply.
Dad, I'm going to see that you're prosecuted.
And there we'll leave it. 11:28 on the Lee Kirk Show. We'll come back to it, obviously, because it is a huge problem in America. And the accusation is it's being forwarded and encouraged by federal monies. And the other side of the coin is there's not enough money already in the system to help those people who are hurt. Back in a second.
Does the word value...